Hello, welcome, good morning, namaste. This is Saili Kerkar. Welcome to my channel. So, friends, today I'm going to talk about mind and its role in our journey of awakening. Last time in my last video, I spoke about how this whole inner work is about stepping beyond our minds. Now, I think all of us have tried enough to step beyond our minds. We have tried various meditations, we have tried different affirmation techniques, we have tried to feel expanded through various kind of mind hypnosis kind of techniques and whatnot. People do all sorts of techniques, praying, chanting, but none of it really works, does it? Tell me honestly, has any of you felt expanded after doing a certain technique? Maybe you felt it for a while and then you lost it again. And I'll tell you the reason behind it. Because all techniques or all how to do this are rooted in your mind. If I tell you that I'm now going to tell you how to step beyond your mind, and then I start telling you step 1, step 2, step 3, guess what? I'm giving you something for your mind. You have started engaging your mind in trying to understand how to step beyond the mind. How can you step beyond the mind using your mind? That's impossible. That's the dichotomy of what we are trying to achieve here. So, my friends, what I'm trying to say is, stepping beyond the mind is something that we haven't yet experienced, because all that we have experienced is through our minds. So in order to do that, let's first try and understand what our mind is. What is it actually doing in our life? How is it actually helping us? Every time I say step beyond the mind, let's not make our mind our enemy. It's not. It's a beautiful tool given to us to actually expand our consciousness. And I'm going to tell you how it helps. So now I'm going to give you an analogy, okay? Think of a film being projected from a film projector and you're watching it on a movie screen. So what's happening is that there is a light of the projector that falls on a film roll, okay? And there is some content on that film roll which gets projected on the screen, which we call as movie. Now, here, the light of the projector is actually what or who you are. And that's nothing but your consciousness, your awareness, who you truly are. The film roll and all of its content is actually your mind. Our mind is filled up with lots of thoughts, emotions, feelings, notions, memories. All of that is part of your film roll, what is already present on that film. And then, as the light of the consciousness falls on the content of your mind, your life experience, your life gets created, which is actually a movie, right? So what your mind is doing is actually helping you experience what is part of your mind. It is helping you see what all exists as part of your consciousness. Now all of this is consciousness, right? We are saying that the light is the pure consciousness, but the mind, the experiences, and everything else is also part of you. It all contributes to your grander self. So, what's happening as we go through our life experiences is that our mind keeps on projecting everything that is part of our consciousness out into the world. Okay, so if I'm holding on to certain thought process, certain belief, it starts playing out as my experience in my life. If I want to go beyond my mind or shift my consciousness or transform the way I see the world, I can only do that if I first see what is part of my consciousness. And that is precisely what our minds are doing. Our minds is helping us identify actually what is stopping the pure flow of consciousness from getting projected. So the content of that film roll, the content of your mind, is actually blocking the pure flow of consciousness. It's creating breaks It's creating a separation from your wholeness. That's what is happening. Now you're saying, why is it doing all these things? Why is it making us feel lack or the breaks? Well, this is the process of our growth, our evolution. The only way we can evolve our consciousness while being in this physical form is by actually experiencing the different anomalies or the breaks or the concepts that we believe to be true as part of our life experiences, and then grow from it. This is how we grow. This is the part of evolution. That's why mind is created, right? So now, if you want to step beyond the mind, what do we truly need to do? Can we actually change the content of that film roll? Well, yes and no. You cannot change it through the mind. You cannot make yourself think positive because you're thinking negative, or you cannot certainly have a state of change of your mind or change of perspective. That is a very little step. That is a start of shifting consciousness, but it doesn't shift entirely. What we need to do is, every time you go through an experience something which is not coming from your wholeness. We can call it negative for the sake of convenience. If it's a negative experience, what you need to realize is, this is your creation. This is part of your mind, and that's why it's being projected. And you are not actually this experience or even the content of your mind. You are not the thoughts or the emotions that you are thinking at that moment. It is simply the content of your film roll. You are actually the light. You are actually the awareness which is aware of this entire phenomenon. When you shift into the understanding that you are the awareness and not what's happening inside your mind, automatically the content of your mind changes. You don't consciously change it through your mind, but just becoming aware that you have created this film roll. It's part of who you are, and you're just playing it out because you wanted to learn from it. This understanding and the love, the unconditional love that you give to the whole experience, changes the content of your film roll. In fact, it gets more and more clearer. As the film roll gets more and more clearer, the true pure consciousness light starts sparkling through, and the whole story of your movie changes. And that is what is stepping beyond the mind. Hope I have not confused you too much with this analogy. But all I'm trying to say is that instead of consciously shifting the content of your mind, just become aware that you are not this content. However, you are experiencing it or seeing it because you've accepted it in your mind. How do we accept various contents in our mind? I'll talk about it in the next video. But this is what entails stepping beyond the mind. And it is not a technique, it is not a method, cannot be done with step 1, 2, 3. It is simply raising your awareness and becoming aware of the grander truth of who you are. So I'll leave you with that thought, and I hope that you got something from this video. If you have any questions, any comments, please post on the video. If there is anything else that you would like to talk about or ask about, I'll be happy to talk about in the next video. Have a beautiful day. Thank you. Bye-bye.